The CRA says T4A is listing how much people received in 2020 as far as COVID benefits go will start going in the mail today. They'll warn people that all of that income may be taxable depending on their, of course, final income picture, which will combine their regular income with their COVID benefits. There are a lot of people, and we've spoken about this before, you've spoken about it with a number of my colleagues before the holidays, who were very nervous about letters they already got in the mail about the potential for or CERB having to repay some of what they received in CERB. Just before Christmas, the Prime Minister told my colleague Rosemary Barton that he didn't want people worrying about CERB repayment over the holidays. The holidays are over, Minister. Should they be worried about it now?
Well, I still think the Prime Minister's commitment stands true. So we don't want people worrying. We're going to work with people on repayment options. We're looking at possible ways to make repayment even easier, smaller amounts. You know, CRA really, none of us, and we've said this from the beginning, want people to fret over this, but we understand absolutely that people will be, because it's money that you owe to the government. So I think the message is, if you can repay, repay. If you can't repay, please call CRA, work with CRA on a repayment schedule, and we'll have more to say about this in the coming weeks in terms of what the tax season will actually look like. But again, it's hard to say. Don't worry, but please try and trust that we'll work with you to repay this money in a way that works for you.
I understand when you say you'll have more information in the coming weeks. This has been top of mind for Canadians now for over a month since they got those letters in late November and early December. When you say you're looking at possible changes, can you be more specific? Like, what might make it easier for them to repay?
Well, perhaps a longer duration that you can repay over, or smaller monthly amounts that you can repay. You know, the numbers are such that about 440,000 of these letters were sent out, which was about 4% of CERB recipients. So when you think that 9 million people got it, and about 4% of people were told that they couldn't yet have their income verified. Remember, those people all don't have to repay. That just means we couldn't verify their income and their eligibility. So we've worked with a lot of them to try and verify their income eligibility, get them out of that list, get them off the list, and get them away from this worry. But for the people who end up having to repay, we will be working on we're working on a number of ways, but it's mainly working directly between them and CRA.
So how many then, if you're saying it's not the full 440, there are people who have been moved off the list, how many are you left with of people who actually do have to repay money to the CRA and to the government?
I don't have an update number. I'm really sorry about that, but I can tell you that there were people who have since filed their 2019 taxes. There are people who have yet to file their 2019 taxes, working with CRA to verify income for the first 4 months of 2020, thereby making them eligible for the CERB. So we're really right in the middle of working all of this out with every single person that we need to work it out with. And I just don't have the data to be able to share with you, or even give you an impression that would be accurate of what the number would be.
I know also before the new year, you said forgiveness was not on the table, but we have since learned that through the union that represents CRA employees, as well as the CRA, that applicants were given the wrong information in the first 3 weeks about income criteria of the benefit rolling out. If they got the wrong information, why shouldn't there be forgiveness?
Well, again, it's completely unfortunate that during the flurry of all the information that we were trying to get out to Canadians, there was a period of time, a period of weeks, where people were given the wrong information from one group of CRA, sorry, I don't know their title, service representatives. But we are working to figure out how we can make it more fair for Canadians. Given that, we're trying to figure out, based on the number of applicants, what the actual what that looks like. But we're certainly not in a position to forgive CERB debt right now. But again, we're just trying to figure out, you know, we'd always intended, like every other benefit for the CRA, that it is net pre-tax income, because that's how everything else is calculated, GST, OAS, CCB. But I completely hear you that people were misinformed, and we need to figure out how to be fair in light of that.
Yeah, respectfully, though, you say you hear me in that you have to be fair, but you're unwilling to show forgiveness for that select group of people. I'm certainly not saying that should cover everyone, but if it is identified that they were given the wrong information and they base their application on that and receive money in exchange for that, why on earth should they have to repay it?
It's a good question. And I think that the part of the work that's being done right now through CRA, and of course they're they're better positioned to talk to you about this. But as I understand it, is we're trying to figure out how big that group of Canadians is. How many people relied on that to make their CERB application? What's kind of the catchment of individuals, and how can we do right by them?
But it won't be forgiveness.
But also, well, as of now, we haven't decided to forgive them. No, I guess is what I'd say.
But you haven't said you won't? Just to be clear, just for those people who are watching right now.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not impossible?
I'm not trying to equivocate. It's not impossible, but there hasn't been a policy direction change. In December, we had decided that forgiveness was not on the table. We haven't changed our mind on that. But I've always said and will always say that there's nothing, we can always look at a situation and make a better decision once we have all the information.
Okay, Minister, I'll leave it there. I'm out of time. I do appreciate your time as always, though. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Take care.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.